This weird object appeared in the sky, and literally no one knows what it is. It was captured by the Atlas telescope, which scans the sky every single night for asteroids, and it spotted a long glowing streak moving silently through space. Scientists were so stumped that they just named it A10BMLZ and basically said, "We have no idea." Some people are saying it's an alien spaceship, others think it's a secret military project, and some even think it's just a camera glitch. Well, I'm tired of guessing. So, I brought in a team of astronomers, physicists, and engineers, and gave them one challenge. Figure out what this thing is, no matter the cost. We're going to go through every single possibility, from the most boring to the most insane, and you're coming with us. Let's go. Alright, first up, the most logical, and honestly, the most boring explanation. Is this thing just a comet? Comets are basically giant, dirty snowballs flying through space. They're made of ice, dust, and rock. As they get closer to the sun, the ice starts to vaporize, creating that iconic glowing coma, or head, and a long tail of dust and gas that points away from the sun. The Atlas telescope, which found this thing, is literally designed to find comets and asteroids, so this should be an easy one, right? If it looks like a comet and acts like a comet, it's a comet. So, we asked our astronomers to break it down. A comet's tail is its fingerprint. The dust tail is usually wider, curved, and yellowish. The ion tail is thinner, straighter, and bluish, pushed directly away from the sun by solar wind. When we look at the Atlas I3 footage, we see a long, thin streak. It's definitely elongated. The brightness is also somewhat consistent with a small cometary nucleus heating up. The team pulled up dozens of images of known comets captured by the same telescope system. But here's where it gets weird. The object doesn't really have a distinct coma. There's no bright, condensed head like you'd expect. It's more like a uniform streak. And the tail doesn't seem to be behaving like a normal comet tail. It's not clearly pointing away from the sun, and there's no evidence of the classic two-tail structure. It's just a line. A very, very long line, estimated to be hundreds of thousands of kilometers long, but without the central point of origin. So, what if it's not a whole comet, but a piece of one? Comets can and do break apart. This is called fragmentation. When a comet shatters, you get a trail of debris, kind of like a string of pearls, all following the same orbit. This would explain the elongated shape without a central coma. The pieces would all be glowing and releasing gas, creating a long, continuous line. This theory is actually one of the leading scientific hypotheses. Our team ran simulations. They programmed a virtual comet, flew it close to the sun, and made it explode. The resulting debris cloud, in some of the models, looked surprisingly similar to Atlas I3. It created a long, thin line of material that slowly disperses over time. The problem is, we only have one snapshot of this event. We don't see it forming, and we don't see it dissipating. We just have this one single mysterious image. It's like finding a single frame from a movie and trying to guess the entire plot. The scientists on my team are split. About half of them think this is the most plausible explanation. They argue that the object's trajectory and general appearance fit a fragmented comet better than anything else. The lack of a coma is explained by the nucleus already gone, shattered into countless smaller pieces that are all degassing at once. It's not one big light, but millions of tiny lights all blurred together by the telescope. Okay, if it's not a comet, what else could it be? Let's talk about space junk. There is a ridiculous amount of debris orbiting Earth. Dead satellites, spent rocket stages, tiny flecks of paint. Could Atlas I3 just be a piece of man-made trash? We pulled up launch records for every rocket in the weeks before the discovery. We needed to see if anything matched this object's location and trajectory. A spent rocket stage can be a pretty big object, sometimes meters long. After they release their payload, like a satellite, they are often left to tumble in orbit. As they tumble, they catch sunlight at different angles, causing flashes or brightness variations. Leftover fuel or pressurant can vent, creating a temporary comet-like cloud of ice crystals. This has fooled astronomers before. We compared Atlas I3 to known images of venting rocket stages. In some cases, the resemblance is uncanny. A long, thin cloud of ice particles venting from a tumbling rocket can create a linear streak in a long exposure photo. The brightness fits sunlight reflecting off frozen particles. Our engineers calculated a small amount of venting fuel could create a massive, reflective cloud. The big problem is the orbit. Most debris is in low Earth orbit or geostationary orbit. It stays relatively close to Earth. The team's plotted trajectory shows Atlas I3 doesn't orbit Earth. It's on a solar orbit, circling the Sun, like a planet or an asteroid. That makes a recent rocket debris origin much less likely. But some interplanetary missions, like Mars or Jupiter, do send upper stages into solar orbit after use. That's to prevent Earth orbit hazards. So we checked those missions too. We reviewed every interplanetary launch from recent years. The team cross-referenced discarded stage trajectories with Atlas I3. After hours of database checks and orbital simulations, they came up with nothing. Not a single known man-made piece matches this orbit. Verdict: space junk is unlikely. What if this thing isn't in space at all? What if it's happening right here, in our own atmosphere? The next theory: Atlas I3 was a meteor, a bolide. Bolide, an extremely bright meteor that explodes entering the atmosphere. Shooting stars are tiny specks burning up. A bolide is the same, but massively bigger. They can be brighter than the full moon. They can be seen in broad daylight. Meteors, sudden brilliant streaks lasting seconds. Speeds, 11 to 72 kilometers per second. Fast enough to cross the United States in minutes. Atmospheric entry vaporizes them in a fiery blaze. That creates a very fast, short-lived streak. Does Atlas I3 match that? Our team said no, for good reasons. First, duration. Meteors flash for seconds. Atlas took a 30-second exposure of this object. The object was present and moving the whole 30 seconds. Not a quick flash, a sustained trace. Second, parallax. Atlas has two observatories, Haleakala, Mauna Loa. Separated by about 50 kilometers, they watch the same patch of sky. Close objects shift against stars. That's parallax. Like moving your thumb when you close one eye then the other. The Atlas team checked both sites' data. Atlas I3 showed no parallax at all. It held the exact same position versus distant stars. That's smoking gun evidence it wasn't in our atmosphere. Physicists say zero parallax from 50 kilometers implies at least hundreds of thousands of kilometers away. Way out in deep space. Meteor theory, busted. It's physically impossible for a rock burning in our atmosphere. Duration and lack of parallax place it beyond the moon. Good to rule simple things out. But this is a definite no. The science is clear. This happened in the void of space. Okay, we've ruled out a lot. It's not a meteor, and it's probably not a rocket. But what if the object isn't real at all? What if it's just a glitch in the camera? A weird reflection? Some kind of optical artifact? This is the skeptical theory. Before we jump to crazy conclusions, we have to be absolutely sure the equipment wasn't just having a bad day. I challenged our tech experts to try and break the camera, or at least to prove the camera could have created this image on its own. There are several ways a camera can create fake images. The most common is lens flare. It happens when a very bright object in or just outside the frame causes light to scatter inside the lens. This can create streaks, circles, weird shapes that aren't really there. Another possibility is sensor-related blooming. A pixel gets overloaded and spills charge into neighboring pixels, creating a streak. The team got to work. They analyzed the original data file, not just the picture. They checked the brightness of every star in the field. Was there a star bright enough to cause a lens flare of this magnitude? The answer was no. No super bright stars or planets could have created such a long, distinct reflection. They also simulated lens flares in a virtual model of the Atlas optics. None of the simulated flares matched the Atlas I3 streak. Next, they investigated sensor blooming. Blooming usually happens with very bright stars. It creates streaks aligned with the sensor grid. The Atlas I3 streak was not aligned with sensor columns or rows. Furthermore, the object was not actually that bright. Bright enough to be seen, but not enough to cause massive sensor overload. Brightness looked like a faint asteroid, not a dazzling star. Another possibility is a satellite glint. A tumbling satellite can catch the sun and flash towards the telescope. During a 30-second exposure, a glinting satellite can make a streak. This is a very real phenomenon. Astronomers deal with satellite streaks all the time. It's a major problem for astronomy. However, this brings us back to the parallax problem. Atlas I3 showed zero parallax, so it must be far away, much farther than any satellite. We've now entered the conspiracy zone. If it's not a natural object and it's not a camera error, could it be man-made, but secret? This is the theory that Atlas I3 is an experimental military craft, a spy satellite, some kind of newfangled weapon being tested in the darkness of space. It's an exciting idea, and governments are definitely working on advanced space technology. Programs like the US Space Force's X-37B prove that classified missions are happening above our heads. So, what would support this theory? First, the secrecy. If this was a top-secret craft, it wouldn't be in any public catalogs. Its orbit and capabilities would be classified. This would explain why we can't match it to any known object. Perhaps the long, thin shape isn't a cloud of debris. Maybe it's the actual fuselage of a revolutionary new spacecraft, or one with a super-efficient propulsion system that leaves a faint glowing trail. However, the problems with this theory are enormous. The object is in a solar orbit, not an Earth orbit. While we have sent probes to other planets, a secret military craft loitering in deep space makes very little tactical sense. What would it be doing out there? The energy and cost to put a craft on such a trajectory are immense. Those resources are usually for high-priority scientific missions, not covert ops. Furthermore, the scale of the object is a problem. If it's solid, it would have to be colossal. If it's a trail, the trail spans hundreds of thousands of kilometers. What propulsion system makes a glowing trail that long but stays secret? It defies our current understanding of physics and rocketry. It's one thing to have a secret plane. It's another to have one that breaks the known laws of propulsion. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. To believe this is a secret military craft, we need proof. Right now, all we have is a single image of something weird. Let's move on to the final and most controversial theory of all. This is it, the one you've all been waiting for. We've ruled out meteors, camera glitches, and satellites. It's probably not a secret military craft. Even the comet theory has some holes. So what's left? The most sensational possibility. Is Atlas I3 an extraterrestrial probe? Is this the proof we've been waiting for that we are not alone? Let's be serious and apply science. First, what would we be looking for? Real evidence of an alien craft or an unidentified anomalous phenomenon, UAP. Things that defy known physics. Does Atlas I3 show any of these? Not really. It was observed on a single, steady path. No acceleration, no turns. Nothing exotic, just a straight line, a ballistic trajectory, coasting under the sun's gravity. Second, a signal. An intelligent probe might try to communicate. We only saw it once. We don't know where it is now, so we can't listen. Third, physical recovery and material analysis. If we recovered a fragment and found alien isotopes or unknown elements or manufacturing beyond our technological capability, that would be definitive. Nobel Prize-level discovery. But the object is gone, millions of kilometers away. Recovery is impossible. This is the fundamental problem. The alien hypothesis is the theory of last resort. You can only use it after ruling out every natural and man-made explanation. We haven't done that. The fragmented comet theory, while imperfect, still fits most of the data. Leaping to aliens is an unscientific jump. Morph? Question mark. Alien head? Red X. It's an argument from ignorance. We don't know, therefore, aliens. My heart wants an alien spaceship. My brain and the scientists say it's the least likely. There is zero evidence. It's just a streak of light. So after all of that, after hiring a team of scientists, running simulations, and debunking theory after theory, what is Atlas I3? The honest answer is, we still don't know for sure. But we have a pretty good idea. The evidence overwhelmingly points away from anything in our atmosphere, any man-made object, or any camera glitch. And while the alien theory is fun, there's zero evidence for it. The most likely explanation is this: a small comet disintegrating as it got closer to the sun. It fits the data best, even if there are a few unanswered questions. This is how science works. It's not about having all the answers right away. It's about a process of elimination. We started with a huge list of possibilities, and now we've narrowed it down to the most probable one. Maybe one day they'll find another piece of this object, and we'll get our final, definitive answer. But for now, the mystery continues. And honestly, that's what makes space so cool. There's always something new to discover. Thank you so much for watching this crazy investigation. We debunked the meteor, space junk, and camera glitch theories. So I'm giving away $3,000 to 3 of you who are subscribed. Check the description to see if you won. If you want to see me solve more insane mysteries like this, hit that subscribe button, because we are just getting started. What mystery should we spend a ridiculous amount of money on solving next? Let me know in the comments.